Hypothermia isn't freezing to death. It's a systemic electrical failure of the heart that begins when your core temperature drops just 2 degrees below normal.
The human body is a biological heat engine operating within a lethal narrow band. Survival is a thermodynamic equation: metabolic heat production minus heat loss via conduction, convection, radiation, and evaporation.
This equation collapses when you introduce moisture. Water's thermal conductivity is roughly 24 times greater than that of dry air. Combine this with convective wind shear, and your survival window shrinks from hours to minutes. At 35 degrees Celsius, your system initiates emergency protocols. Peripheral vasoconstriction shunts blood from the extremities to the core to preserve vital organs. This is your first critical warning: the loss of fine motor control and dexterity in your hands. Next comes shivering, which is involuntary thermogenesis designed to increase metabolic heat production by up to 500%. However, this is a finite resource, dependent entirely on your glycogen stores. Once you bonk or deplete your glycogen reserves, you can no longer generate heat mechanically. This is why caloric intake is not optional in the cold. Food is the fuel that keeps the furnace running. If you fall into cold water, forget hypothermia initially. The 1-10-1 rule dictates your immediate survival timeline. Most drownings happen in the first minute due to panic-induced hyperventilation, not freezing. Below 32 degrees Celsius, shivering stops and cognitive apathy sets in. This is the umbles phase: stumbles, mumbles, and fumbles. The brain enzymes slow down, leading to paradoxical undressing, where victims strip off gear because the hypothalamus malfunctions and signals overheating. Below 28 degrees Celsius is the danger zone. The heart becomes highly irritable, and the myocardium is sensitive to mechanical stimulation. Rough handling at this stage can trigger ventricular fibrillation. You are not dead until you are warm and dead. For field treatment, you must construct a hypothermia wrap. The key physics principle here is the vapor barrier. You need a waterproof layer directly against the insulation to prevent evaporative cooling from the patient's own moisture. Be extremely cautious of afterdrop. If you actively warm the extremities too fast, cold acidic blood returns to the heart, causing a further drop in core temperature and potential cardiac arrest. Keep the patient horizontal and insulate the trunk only. For bikepackers and fast and light alpinists, the greatest risk is the sweat then stop cycle. If you soak your base layer on a high output climb, the aerodynamic drag on the descent creates massive convective cooling. Ultimately, hypothermia is an energy management problem. Maintain your caloric intake, manage your moisture output, and understand that by the time you stop shivering, you have already crossed a critical physiological line. Respect the thermodynamics. Keep the furnace fueled and stay dry.